Hello and welcome all. Thank you for joining me tonight. This is the Heir of Carthage, of course, because I don't think someone would have hijacked my channel, though I do suppose it is possible. Welcome to the stream. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. Looks like we've got a little crowd who was our got here early crowd. So thanks for being here, Nikki, Ruined Atlas, German Soldier, Robert, Regina, thanks for being here. Appreciate everybody. So yeah, we're gonna have some fun tonight. I think again, I'm not on camera. I'm still kind of deciding what I want to do with my camera situation, but it also lets me be lazy and not have to set up the green screen. Not like that's a lot of work, but you know, it still gives me an excuse to be lazy. But in any case, yeah, we're going to talk about Grand Cathay tonight, kind of throw some ideas out there, but not just Grand Cathay. I figured we could also talk about what we're expecting from a standpoint of maybe changes to siege battles, other things we're hoping will be in Warhammer 3, so we'll kind of spice it up a little, have a chat about Warhammer 3 while still enjoying Warhammer 2. We did find out this week that Warhammer 3 is going to be delayed until early 2022. I think CA has released stuff in January before, but if I had to put my guess in there, if I'm CA, I'm probably launching in March of 2022, because that's still Q1, it's still early 2022, and it gives me the most time from my delay. And you'll notice that even though they delayed it, they didn't put an exact date on it, and it's probably because, like, I mean, this is what I would do. If I were working a project, right? And I've worked a lot of projects at my job, just not developing video games, but I've worked a lot of projects. My guess would be is that there are certain things that they need to get done. They probably have a couple of paths, like the happy path. If it gets done the way they're hoping it will, it'll be done by this date. And let's just pretend for a minute, right, that end date is in January. And let's say they have the unhappy path, where they are expecting some things could go wrong or be more challenging than they thought, and that one ends in March. And so my guess is they haven't given us a date because they're probably working on a presumption that, you know, maybe one of two things could happen. And they don't want to put an exact date out there and commit themselves and then potentially have to push it again, right? And then that way also, let's say that the happy path works. Rather than telling you now that it would be in March and then changing their mind, they might still be able to release it in January. Again, I don't know that any of this is true. I'm just guessing here, right? Just guessing based off of my experience running projects in the real world with the way that things can go wrong sometimes. Hey, guess what? Boris here was nice enough to offer himself up a sacrifice to the Sword of Cain, and so I feel like we should oblige him. I mean, he was kind enough to march out here. Oh, this poor soul. He got ambushed by a Sword of Cain. Yikes. Anyway, what'd you all think of the announcement? Hop down in the chat and tell me what you all think of Cathay. I'll give you my thoughts real quick while I'm waiting on you to hear me and then start populating some of your thoughts. First of all, I really loved the art that went into Cathay and the backgrounds, like the floating city, the balloons, the look of the game in a lot of ways was very reminiscent of some of the stuff from Three Kingdoms, which shouldn't be surprising. CA worked in that game, and why wouldn't you kind of let some of those two worlds meet? Someone says the audio is spacing out. Is the audio spacing out for other people? Hold on a second. Let me make sure the audio is working right. I'm sitting right in front of my microphone, and I'm not having any packet loss. So if it's spacing out, I'm not sure why. I'm going to pull the stream up on my phone real quick and take a listen, so hold on just a second. Okay, I'm not sure what you're hearing there, Nikki. I listened to it myself for about a minute on my own. Maybe it was some kind of temporary delay. I hope it's not permanent, but I didn't hear anything on my playback. But then again, maybe I just didn't listen for long enough. I don't know. If you all continue to hear any issues or something, let me know. It could be that YouTube's buffering a bit or something. Let's see. It's whining at me about the resolution that I have set. Let me change something here real quick. I'm gonna swap the stream into just 1080p. Give me 1 second. I'll change it. And you know, YouTube's whining about it being in this setting. It should be fine, but it may be because it doesn't like that setting that it's happening that way. So give me just 1 second. I'll make the quick change. It'll only take a second. Video. I do have to stop the stream for just one. All right, I am back. So you all tell me when you can hear me again. I made a change to one of my settings, which will hopefully make YouTube happy. For some reason, YouTube doesn't support ultra-low latency. I like ultra-low latency because I want it to be as close to real-time interaction between you and me as possible. And so but for whatever reason, YouTube sometimes gets mad when you're trying to stream in a resolution above 1080p, and you're on ultra low latency. They don't like the combination, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, let me know if anything does go bad. But yeah, the Grand Cathay announcement, I'll get back to that, was very exciting for me in the sense that it's a faction that was mentioned in Warhammer lore quite a long time ago, apparently, but was never fully fleshed out. And now, through a cooperation with Games Workshop, Creative Assembly worked with them to basically make it happen. And that's really cool. I hope more of that keeps happening. And I think that if you're, which, I'm not one of those people who was there in the old world of tabletop Warhammer back in the day. I'm not one of those people. However, I very much like that realm because this game introduced me to it. And so it's exciting for me to know that it's being added to that old fantasy, old world. And I do believe that Games Workshop is working on kind of a reboot of the old fantasy battles with what they're calling the old world. I don't understand fully how it's going to work, but I believe this Cathay stuff is going to be part of that old world stuff that they're building. And so I'm very excited, like I said. I think this is great. I think the art looked really cool. I think it's a faction a lot of people are going to have a really fun time with, in the sense that they have dragons, they have lots of cool magic, the background, the scenery looks really nice. The characters look like they're going to be fun, like the children of these, like insanely powerful gods who can transform from a human into a dragon. So I mean, there's kind of a cool background. It's obviously loosely based off of, real Chinese antiquity stuff, which kind of gives it a neat feel as well. So for me, it's very exciting, and I'm very much looking forward to trying out Grand Cathay. And I think beyond that, I was excited to see that more artillery, more guns. So in some ways, kind of a Dawi-like gameplay with a defensive army with lots of firepower, but there's going to be more flyers, right? There's going to be dragons. There's going to be support units, like they called out, like Alchemist. There was a bunch of stuff they mentioned that we're going to see in this new faction that, to me, is something that'll be welcome and fun. It sounded like their gameplay, in my opinion, from what they were saying, is going to be very much dwarf-like in a lot of ways, but I think they'll have a little more mobility than dwarves, and it also sounds like that, how the dwarves don't have any spears, and so they have to use other tactics as far as anti-large goes. I think that the Grand Cathay are going to be much stronger against large. Their infantry looks like it's almost all spear and halberd wielding. Even the big statue, the terracotta warrior that we saw, looked like it was holding a big spear, so it's very possible that it's also anti-large in nature. Guns tend to be anti-large in nature. In some of the screenshots, you could see a unit that very much looked like basically a Warplock Jezzail, except with Cathay troops behind it. So some type of sniping unit. So I'm pretty sure that it is going to be kind of like a mix of Empire and Dwarves would be my best guess as to the play style. Nikki says the figures will paint up real nice. I hope they make minis out of it. I would be excited to get my hands on some minis. There was a lot of color in the artwork, and the different dragon types and stuff like that. So I think there's a lot of room for people to be really creative with the miniatures as well. So I do hope to see miniatures both for Kislev and for Cathay. But I mean, if I'm being honest, Kislev is going to have a lot of white and kind of drab, light-colored look to it, which is cool. That's fine. I'm down with that. But I'm also guessing that we'll see a lot more colorful palette from miniatures with Grand Cathay. I'm going to get some of the comments here. So Conda Step says, hey chat, do you all recommend that I check out the new Warhammer 3 trailer? Yes, you should definitely check out the trailer. Got nothing to lose looking at the trailer. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight, so if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Jason said it was buffering. Other people say it's fine. Yeah, if it's buffering, I would say you might want to refresh on your end. I haven't dropped a single frame, according to either YouTube or my broadcaster, so if it's buffering, it might be something on your end. Ruined Atlas says, do you think Grand Cathay will detract from Kislev and Khorne? I don't think so. I think Grand Cathay offers people another option, and honestly, I think Kislev and Grand Cathay are both there for the sole purpose of trying to give people an option that isn't chaos to start the game with, right? If they came in, and let's say that Creative Assembly kind of took the lazy way out, and didn't go develop Grand Cathay or Kislev, then I think what you would have run into is that basically the game would only offer these chaos factions. And some people don't like being the bad guys, or they just don't like chaos or the way that chaos plays. And you are going to get some variability. Obviously, we got our first peek at some units for Tzeentch in this battle as well. People were calling the Lord Kairos Fateweaver, or Kairos Fateweaver. I'm not familiar with him. I think I've seen the model for him in Age of Sigmar. I'm just not familiar with who it is, but it looked kind of like Sartorial, except with two heads. So anyway, we know that it's Tzeentch. He was flying. There was a lot of flying units, both with wings and flying around on like flying saucers, like Marty McFly style. So Tzeentch is already apparently, and we also saw lots of like kind of purple magic missiles flying in from the Tzeentch units too. So I think that we're going to be seeing probably like more range capability from Tzeentch. Obviously more flyers and stuff than we do with Khorne. So that would be my guess. I think you're going to have quite a bit of variability from Chaos Faction to Chaos Faction, but I think Cathay and Kislev are there to offer people kind of that faction they can be to fight off this never-ending horde, right? I think CA is trying to give you both options to be the never-ending horde, and then you can pick your flavor of never-ending horde, or to be the one who holds the ground against the never-ending horde. So, did I just say whore? Yeah, never-ending whore. The never-ending horde. So, I think I just called the Chaos factions a whore. In any case, they'd probably take it as a compliment if it was the Slaneshi ones. But in any case, the Chaos factions, I think they're trying to give you both options, right? You can be the bad guys, or you can be the quote-unquote good guys, right? I don't know that there really is such a thing as good guys in a Warhammer game, but take it for what it means, right? For what it is. All right, Kazrak is going to level up. Let me get some more here. We do need Lore of Pancakes, Wicked, I agree. Ogre Kingdom's trailer is going to be grand. I hope we see Ogre Kingdom's German Soldier. There's been no confirmation of such yet. But with them putting Ogre Mercenaries into this game, probably a pretty good chance we're going to see Ogre Kingdoms. So yeah. Bird with two heads, one lies and one tells the truth. Now that's some Tzeentchy stuff right there. Flipping Chaos hoverboards, that's right, Trantor. I loved it. It looked really cool. Matthew Wong says, what the dairy cow is going on? Well, thanks for being here, Matthew. We are doing some dairy cow action tonight with the Beastmen, and we're talking Warhammer 3 while we do it, so thanks for joining. Yoab says Tzeentch is his favorite Chaos faction. Well, you should be excited then, because basically they've already told us that as soon as Cathay kind of gets its week or two, however long it is, in the limelight here, that they're going to move on and start introducing Tzeentch. And I assume we'll be seeing some of them anyway as we go through some of these next trailers. Let's use this here, Underhoof. Atera, thanks for joining. It's good to have you here. Giberon, hello. Thanks for being here. Trantor says, if they include Ogre Kingdoms, do you think they would set Nurgle as the rival? I don't know. That's an interesting question. It does really seem like they're setting up every Chaos faction with a rival, right? So you have like Khorne rivaling Kislev. Here we've got Grand Cathay rivaling Tzeentch. That is a good question. Do they continue that? Do they have to continue that? It would make sense if they did, and if so, who are the other two factions? We know this game is going to launch with a lot of factions. I want to say they've said, what, 8 or 9? Like, it's going to launch with a lot of factions compared to the other games. I don't know. Let's think about that for a minute. Let's throw some ideas out here. You could have Chaos Dwarves here. You could have Ogre Kingdoms. We've seen Grand Cathay. We've got Kislev. Who would rival Carthage? Good question, Warner. Good question. Kyle, thanks for joining us tonight. Glad you could join us in the live stream. What do you all think? If they continue on this road, so the question we're kind of talking through right now is if they continue on the road of like introducing a faction and its Chaos rival, so we had Kislev and Khorne, Tzeentch, and Grand Cathay, who rivals Nurgle and Slaanesh? And do they have to put a new faction in there, or do they just rival a revamped, already existing faction? I don't know. I mean, CA is definitely going all out, and they keep delaying the game. Are they delaying the game because they're doing even more work with Games Workshop on fleshing out factions that we haven't seen before? Do we get a Nippon, an end? I don't know. No idea. Road Atlas says, Drom cooks for the ogres. Slaanesh rivals the Greasy Boys. Seems to be very aerial combat heavy. You think a nice change from the focus of ground combat? It depends. I think they're going to have a lot of ground troops, because they mentioned there being a lot of ground troops. I think that they do have a lot of aerial troops, probably for support, because it mentions them being slow and easily outflanked. So I'm assuming that the flying troops are to try and make up for a little bit of that. But I don't know. I think they're still going to have a lot of forces, and fairly substantial forces on the ground, because it mentions multiple times in the write-up just how large Grand Cathay is as a nation, and it mentions how many troops they have and the different varieties of troops. Hey Air, when's Seleucid episode 10 coming out? Let's see, I released... So it'll be tomorrow, so Seleucid part 10 comes out tomorrow, Patrick. So keep an eye out for it then. Should have some good action going on there too, because we've got all the armies in place for the satrapy wars. Trantor says, I mean, could just be for the sake of introducing a good and chaos faction at each announcement. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm wondering. And if they continue it, which factions do they do that with? And then if we think about it, that would mean you'd have 8 launch factions, roughly. Plus maybe a 9th, if they do like a pre-purchase, like they've done in the past, which I think could very well be possible here. Kind of thinking about letting these guys attack me here. Would they dare attack me?
Weak and feeble.
Ooh, that'd be great if they did, because I have a massive garrison. Let's see if the Druki attack me there. We'll see who's weak and feeble. It's a lot of big talk. Like, even if they bring this other army, maybe this one, I mean, we could probably take them. It'd be pretty strong. Harry Beck says, whatever happened to Attila? It's still out there. Still on Steam. Still playable, as far as I know. If you're talking about my long-lost West Rome campaign, I don't have the save anymore. Rest in pieces. Just gonna start recruiting some stuff in here. Nurgle versus Chaos Undivided. Would they do a Chaos versus Chaos? I don't know what they would or wouldn't do. I'm asking that out of like true curiosity here. I don't know the answer. I'm still waiting for them to introduce Lu Bu as a legendary lord. Well, they may have a lord that's kind of the equivalent of it. Oh, we spent too much money. We're gonna go in the negative. Whoops. There we go. I hope Beastmen get another DLC despite the Warriors of Chaos and the Never Chosen. I love that Never Chosen thing you had to throw in there. Alright, so they did bring in some reinforcements. They got... Yeah, Mara came from that other settlement, so we got a big battle here, but that's okay. We have a huge garrison to help us. How come I can't turn these guys over to AI control? What the heck? Like, I want the garrison to fight under AI command. I don't get it. Why that option is sometimes available and other times it's not. CA, please, fix it. Roned Atlas says, my last question for a bit at least. With 2 Chaos Gods factions coming all out, do you think the other 2 will come later as DLC, a later game, or probably not? I don't know. I would assume we're probably going to see all 4 flavors of the Chaos factions at launch. I want to say CA told us outright. I want to say we've seen it somewhere that we know there's going to be like either 8 or 9 factions at launch. They've told us that this game is going to have a lot of factions at launch. So it is not going to be like the other games where we get four launch factions. I think we've been told that it's going to be more. Alright, I'm kind of trying to intermix my heavier infantry with lighter infantry, and I'm going to mix the Jabberslides into the infantry. And just kind of make a real nasty concoction here for our opponents to deal with. Oh yeah, that's looking good. Big old nasty bunch of mean infantry line there. And then we're gonna back it up with giants, spawn, and Minotaurs, and Cygor. Well, my Centigors over here. Chariots. Put all kinds of nasty stuff in the second line. Yeah, there we go. All right, so now we got a hard-hitting second line to back up the infantry. Got our Bray Shamans. Kind of spaced throughout here. I want Morgar right up front with one of the Jabberslides. Let's put our Gorbel with another Jabberslide. Thinking about Vanguard deploying all of these Centigors over here. And then just swinging in behind the enemy with a massive light cavalry strike. Oh yeah, there we go. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna bring an all-out light cavalry strike. There we go. Got these guys grouped where it'll be easier for me to use it. Okay. Ragnar says, it's okay, Air, just treat the garrison army as the AI would and just throw them at the enemy. I guess we could. I could just put them on a hard group and give them a single-click attack, and that would essentially do the same thing. The only difference is the AI will get follow-up orders if need be. Oh boy, it's gonna be a big old fight right here, and the Druki are gonna lose really, really badly because their reinforcements are much farther away. I'm gonna hold my Centaurs. Some of you all might start screaming at me. Don't worry, I'm gonna hold them intentionally for just a little bit. Roll that jabber slide back this way. Let's get some help against nasty old Crone Hellebron here. Alright, we will pretty well overwhelm the Druki very, very quickly here. Comes a Dreadlord. Alright, we've got Crone Hellebron locked in a fight that she isn't going to much enjoy. That's okay. I'd rather like it that way. The reinforcements are on the way. I'm going to kind of continue fighting here for a minute, wrap all this up, and then I will bring in my Centaurs when the moment is right. Alright, Crone Hellebron somehow managed to break out of that. That seems like a load of crap, if I'm allowed to say so, which I am. Get some help over here to Morgur against that spawn. Don't get too far ahead of yourselves. Let's stick back here. I'm gonna fall back just a little bit on this flank and reform. I think it's almost time to bring that light cavalry out. I want to wait just a hair longer. Okay, let's start folding in the flank in this direction. Let's get after that Dreadlord. Whatever happened to Hellebron? Okay, she landed over here. Morgur is actually holding his own really well because he took a bit of a beating from a Dreadlord for a minute, but then look at this. She's going to get away again. What a turd. Hold her. Don't let her get away. Catch her. Yeah, we got you. Take that, Crone. I'm going to kind of just give a blob attack order over here. Some Vile Tide action there. Where's my other... Come on, hurry, 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 go, go. Alright, light cavalry, it is time. It's time to make your presence known on the battlefield. Alright, we got units not working, so let's swing them in. Give new orders to all these units. It's gonna be a lot of blobbing orders here, but we should be okay. We should be okay. Alright, yep. Wrapped up all that trash. And let's get into a pursuit. And now the light cavalry is here in all its glory. A jump on that Supreme Sorceress. Put her out of her misery. I mean, she didn't claim to be in misery, but I can only assume. Just kind of par for the course. Oh, there's a Charybdis coming in. Okay. Alright, we got the Supreme Sorceress. What else is over here? I see a whole bunch of skirmishers back here. Let's get our cavalry lined up for a charge. More of those units. Keep pushing up. Okay, now let's push forward over here. There's a couple of blood rack shrines. Push up. Push up. Come on, come on. Go, 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 go. Get him. Yes. Alright, let's get on these blood rack shrines. We'll turn around and get them. Over there on the blood rack shrines. Start attacking Charybdis. Get up here. Push up. Push up. Kill Mr. Charybdis. Manticore. Push in. The Hydra. These blood rack shrines aren't going to like this fight that they're stuck in. It's going to go poorly for them. Ooh, I love these big battles. Thank you, CA, giving me a big battle, a fun one at that. Not just any big battle, but a good one. I'm gonna ignore that blood rack shrine and push over here against the War Hydra for a minute, because it's getting some decent work done and I want to cut it down. Warble, could you do me the pleasure of getting rid of that blood rack shrine, please? Alright, get rid of that Charybdis. And now we're gonna keep pushing back towards the... Yep, there we go. Nice, big, clean victory for us. We got a lot of work done in that victory. Alright, it's in that battle. Hope a Gorgon is named Gorgon Freeman. It isn't, but it will be now. Crone Helagon, that's right. She is gone. She's out of here. Her soul is owned by Malekith. What's the story behind Crone Helebron? Like, I kind of understand, you know, you got Mom Rathi and Malekith the son. So what's Helebron's story? How does she fit into this mix? If anybody knows. Jabber boys love blobs. Oh yeah, exactly, German soldier. I was knowing there was going to be some blobs there, and you can see the Jabber slides. They get into those blobs, and they just have the time of their life. Like they're on cloud 9. So that's the whole reason we got these things, because our infantry sucks, and the Jabber slides basically make up for it. Well, that was a costly battle for our Slaneshi friends here. Crone Helebron is the leader of the Harganeth Dark Elves. Alright. Jabber boys are adorable. They are, aren't they? I mean, if you're going to be ripped limb from limb, it might as well be one of those cute, fluffy Jabber slides, right? You would die, like, just looking at all the adorable cuteness. Or, you know, or just die. I don't know, whichever. One of the two. The Jabber Slabber. That's right. Oh, man. I am going to loot and raise. Need some favor. Give me all that favor. I'm gonna use it to help build up the camp here for our new friend, Malagor. There we go. Maybe one more building? No, I don't have quite enough for it. Alright. So we'll hold off there for now. They're known for their reveling in murder to Cain, most widely her executioners. Okay. But anyway, yeah, man, I'm so excited for Grand Cathay. And then they also talked about sieges, so hey, I figured this would be a great place for us to go next with the conversation, alright? So, honestly, like, when people ask me, like, what would you change about sieges in Warhammer? The first and most sure thing that I can say is that they're boring. And that I want them to be better. Now, okay, that's a very blanket statement, and it does nothing to solve the issue, because I haven't mentioned what I would do to make it any better. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know exactly how I would fix sieges, to be honest. Let's grab a Gorgon in this army. Having extra single entities is not going to hurt, especially one that can do some anti-large damage. So I'm going to grab that Gorgon there. I think sieges, the way they are just kind of bland. Like, every time you attack... Fortunately, Warhammer has magic and a lot of different units, so I haven't found the siege battles quite as awful as some people. Though, don't take me the wrong way. They're not good. Like, I often find myself avoiding them just because they're not particularly fun. So I would certainly like to see something changed in them. I think it'd be neat if the siege maps were much more specifically designed for the faction who's defending them. So, like, for instance, if I'm Brittania, my siege maps need to be focused in such a way that my cavalry can help me defend in a siege. I get it, that your cavalry gives you the biggest advantage in the open field, but you can't tell me that Brittania, being a cavalry-heavy faction, wouldn't make their fortifications with that somewhat in mind, you know? So I feel like that's one step that I can think of at least. I feel like that's one, like I said. And what do you all think for other siege changes? What kind of stuff would you want to see? German Soldier says, I would make it that some of the giant monsters can break down a wall or climb over it. That might be interesting as a small change. Yeah, very certain ones have a specific ability. Like giants, or maybe something that looks kind of climby might be able to climb. I don't know. That could be one idea. Like I said, there's a bunch of things. I haven't really thought this through, like in terms of what I think that all the changes would necessarily be. I think more defenses. So when you play the battle for Tour of Res, the High Elves get like some special traps and defenses. The player paying extra money to put those into the siege map might be kind of neat. Whenever I played the survival battle in Warhammer 3, you were able to use a kind of in-battle currency that allowed you to be able to call in reinforcements and put in buildings and stuff like that. And that might be kind of an interesting mechanic in the sense that that currency might go up or down depending on the settlement level or how much money you've invested in certain buildings. And then that allows a bit of a more dynamic siege for the player. Like they can, put in barricades, create choke points, call in extra reinforcements, stuff like that. I don't know whether that's where CA is going, but they used it in their survival battle. It's very possible it could be part of the siege battles. It was fun. I have to admit, like, playing the survival battle was really neat. And not only that, it was kind of a sandbox. Like, it allowed me as the player to fight and win that battle in multiple ways without having to just do it one way. So, again, that could be something we see. I'm going to go through some of your comments here. Dwarves should be able to diggy holes underneath them. Yeah, I mean, so, like, again, maybe the dwarves have traps they can dig and try and lure the enemy into these traps. And, maybe that's different from faction to faction. Kyle says more capture points and more bottleneck positions. Yep. Maybe sieges happen in phases. Maybe you have to break through the outer walls and then there's some kind of inner keep that you have to do. Ragnar says siege defense with a boost against magic. Yeah, maybe so, to help you not just get wrecked by vortex spells and damage stuff, because that is definitely a very real possibility in Warhammer. Blobbing up a bottleneck can either be good or just really, really bad. Kind of be either one. Alright, while I'm away, Itza is going to attack my garrison. And there is no feasible way I can defend against this. It's fine. We have to go wreck Itza, and that's why I'm raising Malagor's army, so this is fine. It's not a big deal. Doesn't really put any hurt on me. Wish there were more elements of defense artillery. Yeah, so maybe that's something, like maybe there's emplacements where you can put your artillery. Ooh, we get the dominating Sword of Cain. Heck yeah. Sword of Cain is going to be ridiculously powerful now. Right, we need to attack Skaven Blight, but I'm going to hide out just a bit longer and replenish. They just don't get the message over here at Kinel, do they? I don't know how else to tell you this, Brittonians and Wood Elves, but those are my settlements, okay? You're just adding to my pool of, like, victory points here by continuously resettling this. So kind of the Kislev attack scenario, but in reverse. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I think that the survival battle type mechanic could work in Siege, both for the attacker and the defender, in a way. But to be fair, that would be a complicated mechanic for an AI to handle. The AI is already very bad at making decisions, so I don't know that the AI would ever be capable of that. So I don't know. CA has come up with a lot of different types of battles and a lot of changes to the games over time. And I'm hopeful that they could continue to do so in this, you know, in the newest game coming up. Raider Centaurs, Cygors. So I don't know how I would fix sieges. I'm curious to see what they've come up with. I can think, like we've discussed here, I can think of a few ideas that I think would be helpful, but I don't know that I know, like, the full solution. And I'm not going to claim that I know a full solution, because I just don't. Dwarves, Skaven, and Goblins can sap walls and towers. I mean, honestly, that sounds feasible. I mean, as feasible as things can sound in a fantasy universe. You know what I mean, though? Like, sounds feasible. Ruined Atlas says they could make the AI more aggressive and have access to stronger units, at least in the hypothetical scenario. Yeah, maybe so. Like, the reinforcements might be good for an AI, just in order to make them a little tougher to beat sometimes. All I know is I really enjoyed the survival battle, and that came out of nowhere to me. I did not expect CA to add any such thing, and they did, and it's a lot of fun. And so it gives me high hopes that they can do something good with Siege, regardless of whether the Siege is based on that same type of survival battle mechanic, which it may not be. We've no assurance that it would be. I was only speculating that it could be used in Sieges. But like I said, because they made the survival battle, and the survival battle is really neat, and it's still totally a Total War battle, one that we're kind of familiar with, and all that, but it is also different in the sense that, you know, you have to kind of manage that in-battle resource to appropriately have any prayer of winning. I'm gonna get rid of these guys, actually, just recruit that infantry, because it's better. Might as well grab a Manticore, and some Centaurs, and some Poison Hounds. Mournfang Cavalry, which would be nice. I just don't want to have to pay the upkeep on them. What else can we get here locally? Got 4 slots open. This army is going to be really weak, and there's just nothing here that I can put in here that's really going to give it any more staying power. So with that said, I think I might just go ahead and put a couple of Hunters in here. I said Hunter, Ungor Raiders, because they can cause some damage. Right, I'm just going to keep my 2 armies close here. And when I get these 2 armies together, we should have a pretty good opportunity. I'm going to respec Malagor, because I got him from the AI, and I don't necessarily agree with how they did all of his skill points. I want Flock of Doom leveled up. I want Pendulum. Savage Dominion for sure. Enfeebling Foe, Greater Arcane Conduits. Start down Fury of the Herd, start buffing up our infantry. Okay, that'll work for Malagor. Got his Warger, because we got to pick all the stuff for that, and then the same with our Bray Shaman. Ruined Atlas says what they could do, come with siege equipment and damage building that you need, like barracks, and you would spend the supplies not only to recruit, but to maintain and repair. Yeah, possibly. Upfire says, my Steam is running slow. I just bought an Alienware. I looked up. Fixed, but nothing works. What do you think I can do to fix it? What do you mean your Steam is running slow? Upfire. Give me a little more detail. German Soldier says, or options to make your own garrison with the units you have. I've always kind of been okay with that idea too, that maybe there's like a default garrison, but the player can choose to replace it, and if what you choose to replace it costs more upkeep than what was there, then the player has to foot that upkeep cost. Sean H. Corey says, more maps, bigger maps. I think as long as they can make the gameplay on those maps fun, like I think back again to the survival battle, and I don't remember what they called that. It was like some kind of shrine or something, the Shrine of Blood, or I don't know, whatever it was, where we were fighting on the survival battle. That map was pretty big, and it was really fun, and it had a lot of cool scenery on it, and a lot of choke points and different terrain. So, I mean, I would be okay with that. If we're talking more and larger maps, and they're fun maps like that, I would definitely be down. I'm gonna end the turn. Space Penguin says, how did he just respec? I'm using a mod. I don't remember the exact name of it. Let me take a look real quick, and I'll get the name of the mod for you. Let's see, workshop. I know you all can't see this, but let's see, subscribed items. It's called Infinite Character Respecs, R-E-S-P-E-C-S. Okay, so Infinite Character Respecs, R-E-S-P-E-C-S. And yeah, so it's a really cool mod. I think it comes with a sub mod that you also have to get, which is called UI Modding Framework, but it's linked to it within it. And when you use those two mods, basically you can at any point in time click that button and redo all the skill points for a lord or hero. I like it. So, I mean, obviously some people would think it's kind of cheating. I guess it is, but I don't care. You know, it's my game. That's the way I like to play it. So, has anyone seen Marcus tonight? I don't know that I have. Who needs peace? We're friends when you have the Sword of Cain. Exactly. See, Ruined Atlas, you get it. You get it. All right, next 3 turns we get extra attack and melee strength. So I want to go, and I really want to go fight against Itza. So I'm gonna move that way. I might go ahead and just grab this Mournfang Cav. I just need to have something extra here, which means I need to make some money to help upkeep it. That's fine. We have plenty of people to attack. Speaking of, the Druki brought another army up to be sacrificed. And just in time, too, because I need some sacrificial victims. So I definitely appreciate Druki. The kill scribe is going to be busy keeping track of all the Druki we've killed. Yeah, so siege battles, I would like them to be much more fun. I think minor settlement battles, again, I mean, one of the mods that I used to use fairly often on Warhammer, I haven't used it recently, was the Grand Campaign map mod when they added a map editor. I don't know if it's still good, but back in the day, like, I really enjoyed the Grand Campaign map mod. The players made some really cool maps, and they're really fun. And the biggest problem with that mod was that the AI was too stupid to know how to traverse these maps because they were player made and AI just, I mean, can't maneuver its way out of a paper bag. So it was a bit of a mess in that regard. But, you know, if CA were to put some focus on more elaborate, more fun maps, I mean, take a look at Troy, for instance. Troy has much more elaborate, more well thought out maps. And it's really nice. It is definitely an enjoyable feature of the game. Like, it is definitely an enjoyable feature of the game to have those maps. So I think that it can make a lot of difference, is what I'm saying. Just the maps. So I would like to see that, I think, done as one of the things that they do to improve. Obviously, they have to add minor settlement battles, period, because they don't exist in Warhammer unless you're using said Grand Campaign map mod. I do believe that's the only place they exist. Oh, don't move, sit still. Not bad. I'll take it. Okay. Oops. Forgot to bring my Gorg. Oh, I forgot to name a Gorgon Freeman, too. Oh my gosh, our Jabberslies, like, just destroyed that High Beastmaster. Oh my goodness. I mean, I've seen units get wrecked before, but that guy put a whole new meaning to get wrecked. Wow. They chewed him up and spit him out. I turned around for what felt like just a brief moment, and that fight was over. I love the Jabberslies in campaign. I obviously haven't been playing any multiplayer, so I don't know how they stack up in multiplayer, but oh my gosh, they are good in the campaign. Definitely helped fill a big hole in the Beastmen roster where they needed extra strength and SEMs. Between them and Gorgon Freeman over here, doing well. Adds some serious power to our army. Admiral Parent says they're coming back to wreak vengeance upon those who didn't realize the third-pound burger was actually bigger than the quarter-pound burger. I love it. German Soldier says Jabber Boys will eat anything no matter how spiky the armor is. Yeah, apparently. That Beastmaster, remember, has a bonus versus large. He got absolutely crunched by those two Jabberslaves. They got absolutely crunched. Alright, and we got the money to pay for our Mournfangs and then some. So, excellent. We can also hit an encampment here. Morger's going to pick him up another skill point. I finished Fury of the Herd, and I do want to get this Bestial Butchers here. It gives missile resistance, which is going to be really important for a Chaos spawn, because they are very vulnerable to missiles. And then it gives them extra attack and weapon strength as well. So that's going to be good. And then I think I'm also going to want Unrelenting Fury, or Savagery, which will really help out our infantry too. They're getting close to the gold chevron level, so it's almost time for that to take effect. Yeah, anyway, it was good news. I think all in all, it was good news for Warhammer 3. I think the delay of the game is fine. Like, does it make me sad that I won't get to play it sooner? Sure, yeah. But I'll tell you one thing that would make me a lot sadder is getting Warhammer 3 and then having to say CA please constantly because it sucks. I mean, who wants that? I don't want that. I don't think any of you want that. And if you're going to go out and pay full price for a game, you want it to be good. You know what I mean? And I think it's fine. Like, if CA is worried about launching it because they think that it's not ready, then wait. Absolutely. Wait. Is it M-E-A? Freeman? Freeman. I think like that. If I spelled it wrong, you all can let me know. Yeah, Gorgon Freeman was too good to pass up. Man, I love Morgan Freeman in movies and his narration and stuff like that. the guy definitely has a gift that he was born with for having a voice that you just have to love. And it's impressive. It's kind of like James Earl Jones. I could just listen to that a lot and be totally happy about it. I'm gonna move over here and get ready to take Kingsglade back from Mel Brooks again. Or did I say Mel Brooks? Mel Brooks? Yeah, Mel Brooks. Right. Braveheart guy? Yeah, Mel Brooks. Why am I suddenly like confusing myself with his name? Gibson. I said Brooks. Whoops. Yeah, Mel Gibson. Oh, man. Who's Mel Brooks? What was I thinking? I have no idea. I just confused me. I'm having senior moments here, and I'm not even a senior. Alright, continue siege. Alright, so we've got Skaven Blight, Mel Gibson. Yeah, sorry about that. I eventually got done with my senior moment. James Earl Jones actually narrated the entire Bible. Man, that would be a read right there. That would be a long read. Oh, look at this. High Elves are going to take Lothern back from me. Unless I can stop them. Are you watching, Regina? This ought to make you proud. I don't know. The auto-resolve, I think, is just going to give me a victory, though. So, no sense in me fighting when the auto-resolve's going to hand it to me. Now, if they have another army behind them, they're just going to walk up and take it, but... yeah, this could be problematic, but I think we can win it. The auto-resolve thinks we're going to win it. I think we can win it because of all the chariots. They definitely have better infantry than me, but we have the chariots, and I've got giants. A giant, I should say. And I've got Kazrak and, you know, Gorbul and a wizard and stuff, so I think we got it. Plus, the reinforcements are mostly just trash. So, I think we can take it. I think we can do this. Yeah, in any case, like I was saying, I think Warhammer 3 being delayed is honestly a good thing. And I think that whenever I found out, like, because I got notified just a little bit earlier than you all did, you know, of the news, the delay. CA is really good about us content creators. Like, they keep us in the loop when there's going to be new trailers announced or anything like that. They help us understand what's coming. They have meetings with us shortly beforehand. Of course, it's all confidential. It's under NDA, so I can't share any of it with you all early. But they let us know about it early, and it was funny because some of my peers, and I won't name any names, you know, just in case, because I don't want, you know, anybody going around saying something, but some of my peers were thinking that people would be really upset about the game being delayed, or the fact that we still don't have like a final release date for it, and there probably are some people who are upset by that. I imagine that's probably true. But that said, I mean, I'm thinking about it, just speaking for myself, because that's the only person I can speak for. I'm not upset. Like, what am I going to be? I mean, what am I going to be upset about? Should they commit to a date and then not release on that date because they're not ready? Should they release the game earlier without it being ready? The answer is also no. So I'm not upset. Like, it's fine. Do what you got to do. Make it right. And if it's not ready, what am I going to do? Get upset? Yell at them? It's going to be ready then? Like, if I get really upset, be like, you know what, CA, I've had enough of your crap. You got to start releasing these games on time. That's not going to do anything. Like, we could all yell at them all day long, and it would do nothing. The game's still going to be delayed. So, what I'm saying is there's nothing we can do about it. It's obviously being delayed because it's not ready. And, so, like, if people are upset, then, well, you know what, so is life. There's probably going to be a lot of things that are going to upset you. And so, just get ready. Get ready to be disappointed. That's all I can say. Let's get in here and take care of business. Where is my Bray Shamans? Nice blob there. He's gonna summon up. Come on, go, go, go. Alright, we do need to make this kill quicker rather than later. Those guys take away some of their ammo. And let's get over here and help this blob because they've got the toughest fight at the moment. Now let's swing over here. I'm gonna put this in the summon. It's gonna die anyway. Alright, swing over. Let's see if we can overwhelm here. I'm gonna pull out of that fight for him. Oh, no. Stay in. Yeah, let's pull out of that fight for just a minute. Run this way. And now I need my shaman. Let's grab another summon, power stone, heal. Yeah, it's going just fine. This is going just fine. Wrecked all that stuff. Pound these guys. This fight over here might take a little bit longer than I like because Storm Vermin holding Sept and their armor is going to be difficult for us to penetrate. Alright, let's take some extra chariots through here. Some extra beatdown power. Run those guys over. Hey Ty, I don't know if I think I have my thing turned on, but if it didn't notify everybody, thank you for the super chat. He says, so excited to catch you live. Thanks for helping this nurse stay up as I switch back to nights. Love the content, the vibes. Well, thanks Ty. Hope you make it through those night shifts. I'm sure there's a lot of people grateful that you're there to help them. You know, people definitely need nurses, so thanks for the work you do, and hopefully you make that switch successfully and kind of get back into the swing of it. Changing shifts can be rough. I've mostly ever just, you know, worked on a first shift. There has been a few times when I was doing some work in the field at some distribution centers where I had to go in and work a second shift. It's rough, man, trying to get your body. I only had to do it for a couple of days. I imagine maybe it gets easier if you do it for a long period of time, but it was tough. Like, it is. Oh, whoops, that was a misclick. I don't know why it did that. It was weird. I went to click and it like moved my mouse cursor and made a strange click that I don't quite understand. But yeah, thank you, Ty. Appreciate the support. And like I said, good luck getting switched over. You're fantastic. Thank you. I'm sure you'll do great. Just keep at it. Keep working hard. And thank you everybody else who's here supporting by watching the stream. Hopefully you're all enjoying this. I love making these streams. These are such a nice relaxation point for me every week. And I have to say, and I've said it before, I'll say it again, I have the best audience on YouTube all the time. Like, people treat each other nice, and we have fun conversations, and we rarely ever get hit with spam bots. And, you know, I'd probably just curse myself and we'll get that spam bot back that we had not long ago. But it's rare that we get hit with the spam bots. Very rare. I'm going to take the replenishment here, I think. It's small, but may be helpful. Ty says, I'm a travel nurse, currently in Maine, but I'll be in Alaska. Holy cow, talk about travel. I guess, though, at least you'll be used to the cold weather. And I guess if you're in the right part of Maine, you might even be used to seeing a moose running around, which would be the same in Alaska. I've always wanted to see. Maine and Alaska are definitely two states that are on my list of states that I really want to see. So I definitely am going to at some point. I don't know when, but I definitely want to see those states. I gotta go retake Brion too. Rex Skaven Blight. Yeah, that is definitely a travel right there. Ooh, look at that loot. Oh my goodness, that's some beautiful loot. Oh, loot. Thank you, you little Skaven hoarders. Oh, they just stashed up all that loot under there. We just stole all the Skaven cheese, folks. We got all their cheese in one fell swoop. Ruined Atlas says, I want to go to Alaska, but that's a big trip. It is a big trip. Here's what I want to do, though. I want to go on a trip to Alaska. And on the trip, I want to be able to go fishing. And, like, I want to be able to try and, like, do some fishing in freshwater, like catching some salmon and trout and stuff like that. And then maybe some ocean fishing. Maybe even do a little bit of crabbing and shrimping. And especially if it's some kind of company that will, like, take all that stuff and pack it and ship it back to my house. Like, I know that'd be extremely expensive, but hey, if I'm going to Alaska, I expect it's going to be expensive. And if I'm going, I really, really want to go on an awesome fishing trip. Like, that would be absolutely stellar. I'm sure the state is absolutely beautiful as far as getting to see things, but that would be my dream, is just getting to go experience an Alaska fishing trip. Like, the real deal. And I could probably say the same thing about Maine. I'll bet Maine has some pretty cool stuff, too. Ty says, Maine is my home state. Come in the fall. That's kind of what I was thinking. The fall. And obviously, if I go to Maine, my biggest like excitement there, other than seeing, obviously, the beautiful country that the state has to offer, would be to get to eat the fresh lobster. Like, I would be beside myself to get to go to Maine and get to eat some real Maine lobster, like, hopefully fresh. That would be absolutely sick. Maybe even do, like, a little lobster boil on the beach or something. So that would be absolutely spectacular. I like a little of both. Like, I got to go to Hawaii this last summer, and I definitely love, like, the warm tropical thing. It's really neat. But I also have an appreciation for places that are different and cold. And it doesn't mean that I necessarily want to live in some place that's, like, perma-cold or something like that. That would be rough on me. But at the same time, I like to see it. And I like to experience it because, honestly, I like to experience more things. And so, if I only ever went somewhere warm on vacation, you know, I wouldn't get to experience all the rest. And so I definitely want to, you know, get more of the experience of all the places that you can experience on this earth. It's a lot of time saying experience, but I think you all get what I'm saying here, even though I'm not saying it very well. Bar Harbor, Side Street Cafe has the best lobster. I'll keep that in mind. I've got a friend up near Bar Harbor. I used to do, like I said, when I was doing the field work at the distribution centers, I used to work with them. But yeah, he's up in Maine, so I will definitely go that way because I want to say he's up near that area. I know he goes over there from time to time when I'm seeing pictures of him up on Facebook. Colorado's nice. Yeah, I have family in Colorado. I've got a brother and his wife and family that lives in the Denver area. And I go up there from time to time. It is neat. I've driven all the way through Colorado on I-70. I've driven up north into Wyoming from there. It's definitely pretty. There's a lot of interesting stuff to see. I haven't seen all the sights in Colorado, but I've gotten to see it. And it's definitely a neat place to see. Eric, how much do you want to experience? All the things to experience on a scale of 1 to experience? Well, definitely experience, right? If I could say that I want to experience things, it's because I need the experience to experience the experience. Oh, man, I love it. I had that coming, thanks. Are we able to rename herdstones? Absolutely, Nick. Give me a herdstone name. I'll name one for you. Alright, Kazrak's gonna go back underground. Is 40 not the level cap anymore? It is, Ruined Atlas. I went ahead and turned on my 60 skill point mod. Just because we're so late into the game. I figured, why not? Alright, Nick Lindbergh wants a herd so good. Did we name one? We got Killscribe's Throne. I thought we had a herd so good, but it may have gotten torn down. That's happened. We've lost a few herdstones. I'm not proud of it, but... Oh my gosh, man, we just cannot get ahead of the Druki tide over here. Every time I kill an army, there's another one on the next turn. The Druki tide is real. They're going to be so permanently cemented into first place on Killscribe's list that it's not even funny. I mean, I say it's not even funny. It actually is kind of funny. It is a little funny. So, but again, meant that mostly for the pun's sake. Holy cow, man! I've got some underground movement range with that army. I'm back, suckers. Alright. So, Malagor's back. Hey, speaking of money, boy, we got some. I can't build anything with them at the moment, but we could go into our rewards of dread. We've saved up a lot of rewards of dread. And I've very much been needing more units for these other armies, so... I mean, could we ever have too many Jabberslythes? No. Same thing with Minotaurs. Great weapons. I definitely need plenty of Bestigor herds, and these guys are costing me a ton to get. Like an absolute ton. Centaurs with great weapons are good. Gorgons are actually really good. So that'll help me get some more units into Malagor's armies. Ty says, can you show the world map? I can. This is it. Or, hang on. If I... How do we see it where it's all colored up with the faction? Well, you can see the faction flags here. So there's the current world map. I did a quick tour through Lothern. I just didn't stick around. And now I'm headed over into the old world. And then I've got Morgar operating up here in Nagorond. I've got Malagor and Black Phillip operating down here in Lustria. Ruined Atlas says, how many Minotaurs do you want? Air answers yes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know that there's such a thing as too many Minotaurs in a Beastman army. I just don't think that's a thing. Especially when you see the ones that are in Taurox's army. Those guys are utterly obscene. They have like 100 and something weapon strength. I mean, it is just bonkers. Look at the stats on these guys. Oh, sorry. Did I say 100 something? I meant 200. So we got 200 weapon strength. On the low end, it's 146. So we got 200 weapon strength. And 116 melee attack on many of them. So, you know, maybe just a lot, OP. Maybe just a lot. You know? Look at these guys out-wrecking my herdstones. I don't think we can win this, because I don't think I can deal with the single entities. Just go ahead and not waste our... Oh, man, that beat them up pretty bad, too. So, oh, yeah, we've got these guys in a vice grip now. They went up there wasting their time on my herdstones. And now Malekith is down here. This will be a fun one to fight. Let's fight this. Taurox wants Wheaties. Oh, he loves his Wheaties. If by Wheaties you mean that he eats humans who have been eating wheat. So those are his little Wheaties, right? I haven't seen this campaign in so long. I've been catching up on the Dwarves and Lizardmen. Well, thanks, Ty. Again, appreciate your support. Glad you're enjoying the content. That is a weird deployment that Malekith gets here. I wonder if he's going to bottle up right there. Curious to see how the AI deploys here. All that beast growling whenever you're getting your army deployed as the Beastmen. Sounds lovely. Mr. Gorgon here. Gorgon Freeman, sorry. I should use his proper name. That a up there. Alright, let's see where Malekith comes in. Oh, well that worked out. That worked out. We don't have eyes on all other troops yet. Malekith is going to be one tough nugget. Let's take a look at him just real quick. Stats-wise, so he's got only 5% ward save, but oh my gosh, he's got 50% physical resistance. I do have magic attacks with Morgur and on my Gore Bull, so we need to focus him with those units. Jabber Slides would also do well against Malekith, so good to familiarize ourselves with what we need to be accomplishing here. You better run away. You know what's good for you. Malekith just chose to attack one of those magic damage units that I said he should avoid. Yeah, he did a lot of damage right off, and his stupid abilities keeping me from using any of my abilities at the moment. Need to make this one count. Alright. Not bad, not bad. Let's get over here. Alright, Malekith took off and ran away. Not surprised, he's kind of a wimp. Alright, where did Morgur end up at? It's in the middle of this fight. I'm gonna at least pin Malekith still for a second, even though he's in the air. Got my light cavalry up on the way. Some of my Jabber Slides took some damage in that fight with Malekith. He's, like I said, he's tough. You can't just scoff Malekith off. I mean, he's a tough character. Okay. Need you to stay a little closer to home here, Jabberman. Alright, we got rid of some of those Blackguard. Now we should be able to start wrapping. Putting a little more chase here. Alright, Malekith just died. We had enough magic damage, fortunately. If you didn't have magic damage, you had to fight Malekith with 50% physical and 5% ward. That'd be rough. Like, he would be hard to kill. Alright, so another good victory for us. Name a Minotaur the Beefy Boys. Ooh, I like it. I like it. The Beefy Boys, we can do that. I feel like Eris defeated Malekith 10 times. At least. At least. I think once you've defeated an enemy faction's legendary lord, like, let's say 3 times, and 3 is being pretty generous, but let's just say 3. I feel like their faction from that point on should suffer a massive leadership penalty as a whole versus your armies until such a time that they gain a victory. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like a vote of no confidence in the leadership, essentially. Like, when they lose those battles, no one's going to follow them into combat anymore because you're a loser and we lose all the time. And so I feel like that would be a cool mechanic for CA to add that would kind of help reward the player for destroying the AI's legendary lords, you know, repeatedly and frequently. So I feel like that would be something they could add, and I think that would be nice for them to add. They should. Enter an hidden encampment here. We'll see if we can take out Hotek's column. I've got to take a chunk out of these Druki at some point. Let's see. Let's go ahead and start putting some skill points into his personal ability tree here. Yeah, we have killed Malekith many times in this campaign. Oh, whoops. Withering. Horrible. Call it Moore's Lib. Can't go wrong with melee defense. Melee defense is always handy. Alright. Wow, we've got so many messages. We've still got some battles to fight with Taurox. Alright, Itza is now in our grasp. Black Phillip can siege it. Continue the siege, because Itza is one of our required places that has to have a herdstone for campaign victory, and I've been waiting for the longest time for Gorok to screw up. He thought he was winning by coming and taking my settlements, but he is actually going to lose, because now Itza is mine, and I can take it with ease. And this is going to cut him off from all the recruiting that he was getting from Itza, which was probably significant. I'm going to raise a herdstone here as much as I want that loot. And so now he loses Itza, and I gain a victory condition that I need. So we go over here to victory conditions. We now have Itza. We still have to hit Altdorf and Nagaron, and then fight the battle for the Fall of Man, which I'm assuming comes once we hit this, and we basically have enough marks of ruination at this point. Got a little bit of marks that we can add into this one, and I think I will. Great as infantry, and then speaking of infantry, let's boot these two. Crap! How come I can't enter a hidden encampment? Well, dang, that sucks. I was gonna do some recruiting, but I can't. So I'll have to wait till the next turn. That was not the desired result there. Oh well. Everything here. And Taurox. Did they just resettle Kingsglade again, like right in my face? How stupid are you, Orion? What is it you don't get about Kingsglade is mine? Like, repeat after me. Kingsglade does not belong to us. Okay? Kingsglade belongs to Taurox. And, oh my, same thing with these Brittonians over here. These people just can't get it through their thick skull. There's new leadership in town, folks. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and perform the ritual here, and then I'll wreck these other places. Ooh, we are so close up here. We are close. We are at Ruination level 7. We're almost up to 8. All armies become immune to attrition. Last I checked, Kingsglade is now Cow's Pasture. You know, that's... I would rename it, but it won't let me because I technically don't own it. But, I agree with you, Regina. I agree. And I'm surprised that you're willing to sell out your pointed ear kin like that. But I'm okay with it. You know, it is a Beastmen campaign. We can't exactly be nice. Oh my gosh, they sacked my herdstone instead of killing it? What a bunch of idiots. Well, no one was accusing Gorok of being the smartest lizard, apparently. Maybe the strongest, but certainly not the smartest. What a dolt. Alright. Yeah, that was not a good choice on their part. Eric, can you loot and raise a settlement and still create a herdstone? I don't think so. I think you have to do it. Oh, wow, look at this. They're all going to go after Castle Carcassonne. They want their castle back. They say, give me back my castle. And Air says, no. No, 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 no. a lot of Knights of the Realm. At least I think those are Knights of the Realm. I don't think those are Grail Knights. Are those Knights of the Realm or Grail Knights? Oh my gosh, my allergies are out of control the last few days. The ragweed count is up really high, and apparently that's one of the things I'm allergic to. Because my nose has kind of been stuffy ever since. Been taking the Zyrtec every day, but having to supplement it with even more allergy meds because it just isn't enough on its own. Need some warp stone. That would probably solve it. Yeah, Knights of the Realm. That's what they were. Grail Knights are a little bit tougher. Quite a bit, actually. Try and get all my troops moving in here. Okay. Brittonian cometh, and yeah, look at this genius of a paladin who just charged straight into Minotaur with Grey Weapon. I don't guess anybody's gonna accuse Brittonian of being overly intelligent here. So well done, Brittonian. And then here comes the typical Cav suicide charges. I shall feel free to cut these guys down for their stupidity. Alright. Well, those Pegasus Knights got eaten alive, and now their Paladin is getting the same treatment. Alright. Start chewing these guys up a little. Okay. Actually get after those Knights of the Realm. Yeah, this is not going well for Brittonian. Like, I'm making plenty of mistakes. They are still losing massively. And I'm alright with that. I am pretty okay with this scenario. This is one of their lords here. Get pummeled Chilfroy or whatever his name is. Got another lord right here too. Alright. Let's see, where's my old Bray Shaman? Jack these guys up. Some magic working again. This flank is pretty much cleaned up. Brittonian's got a lot of reinforcements inbound, but a lot of good it's going to do them. Most of what they sent up already is getting absolutely pummeled. This guy, I have to give him credit, he's pretty strong. He's holding out pretty darn well, all things considered. But this is turning into a good old-fashioned Beastmen beatdown here. And Brittonian is the victim. I am downright impressed with the strength of a couple of these Brittonian lords. Like, they are tough. To be sitting in these fights for as long as they've been sitting there, I mean, respect, okay? That's all I got to say to that. Respect. Because that is a heavyweight fight they are sitting around in. Some of my chariots got pretty thrashed. Not totally surprised there. I'd like to not lose these ones though, so I'm going to try and take this one back to a safe retreat. Look at these knights running away. They're like, please, please, Heir, have mercy on us. It's a summoned manticore back there, so I'm not terribly worried about it dying. Put this chariot way back here. Alright, well, we finally crunched those two lords that were holding out pretty strong. I guess it's nice. They've got another prophetess up here, so I'm going to collapse on... Actually, let's collapse on the Knights of the Realm, and then we'll get the prophetess. Really? Look at this. Came back from routing with 276 hit points. And with an almost completely collapsed power bar here. Really no reason to even stick around and attack that prophetess. It's kind of a waste of time. That ought to flip the power bar entirely once they start bleeding hit points in there. Yep, it did. That was way too many units to be in there and way too many hit points to be bleeding for them to be able to hang on any longer. Alright. I appreciate their contribution to the kill count. That is pretty much all they are at this point, is a contribution to the kill count. That was a lot of Brittonians. That was a lot of Brittonians. This battle was an absolute beatdown. Yeah, Nick, that one, it was a mess. I don't know what the Brittonians were thinking there as to what their chances of victory were. But it obviously weren't good. Cat pillar? Is this some kind of joke? CA, please? Full bellies for the herd tonight? Yeah. Meat is back on the menu. Disregard the call. Meat is back on the menu. Alright, so Black Phillip levels up again. I want Earthing, because he's going to be doing some overcasting. Alright, Malagor can finally enter the encamp stance, and we can start improving his army a little. I want to snag a Bestigor. Let's see. He does need more infantry. That's this for now. And I'm gonna drop a Razor Gore herd and pick up the Minotaur because it's considerably stronger. What else? 8, 9 of 9, 3 of 3. So we've got not really. Well, there's giants. Not that I don't like my pig herds, but giants would certainly be a more substantial addition. I'll grab that Cygor because it's like a giant except with extra range. So there we go. That'll work. That'll have Malagor's army being quite a bit better. It's not really on any kind of theme yet. But, I mean, we'll eventually have enough dread to be able to get the upgrades we need. I don't know that we need any extra army capacity. Not really worried about our horde encampment building because that's easy to build. So I really feel like we should just be focused on unit caps right now. And I can use all the Bestigors we could get. And then more Minotaurs, really. I think those are the two things that I want a lot of. And since we increased the caps there, I think we can come back in here. Cancel that. Grab the extra Bestigor. Get rid of this pig herd. I get rid of the Razor Gore herd and grab the other Minotaur. Alright, now his army is going to be substantially stronger than what it was. Hope they get DJ Khaled, I don't know how to say the name, to voiceover for Nurgle. I don't know who that is. Vegetables for the herds? I don't know, do Brittonians count as vegetables? Not really sure. Maybe if it's corn-fed peasants. It's kind of like us getting grain. Oh, look at this. Claw just made a boo-boo. Yeah, Claw just made a mistake. Yeah, I was kind of worried about him retaking that settlement down there, but he done screwed up now. He stumbled across the wrong bull. Wrong bull. Looks like Ty is giving out some health advice. I've been trying to give myself some health advice for a while. I need more exercise, and I've actually been doing it because my dog needs exercise. And I feel bad, you know, if he doesn't get that exercise, because it's not like he can help it, right? I can help my decision. He can't. And so I've been going out with him every day. And I've been running about 1.5 miles and then walking like another 2. Just to get him some time out. And of course I stop at the, there's like a little spring that runs out of these rocks close to me. And the water's real nice and cool. And so I take him there where he can get cooled off and get a drink and stuff like that. It's fun, man. My dog is a mix of beagle and treeing walker coonhound. So he thinks he's hunting the whole time around. And it's because he is. Like, he's watching for squirrels, rabbits, deer. He's watching for all of it. Oh my gosh, man. He loses it when he sees it. Like, he's just ready to go. And I'm trying not to discourage him, right? That's what he was bred for. I can't go chase these things with him on a leash. But yeah, I at least give him an opportunity, you know, like I try and praise him for like, all right, hey, good, you see it, yep, that's it. And I'll let him, like, I'll kind of go over with him and let him tree squirrels and stuff like that because I know that makes him happy. I don't want to go against his breeding. I don't know if I'm ever going to actually use him for hunting. I'd kind of like to, but I have to get him trained, and then, you know, I'm going to have to train him to be okay with a gunshot. And honestly, one of the things I think is going to be the hardest is training him to be off a leash and actually come back to me. He's getting better. But he is so led by his nose that I'm just worried that, you know, he'll get a scent and just go for miles, and I won't be able to do anything about it. So the other thing about hunting too is, like, I know for certain he could help me tree a squirrel, and sure, I could shoot the squirrel, be an easy shot with the shotgun. I don't want to eat the squirrel. I'm certainly not going to use its skin, and so I don't really feel good about killing the squirrel. So if I ever were going to do that, I'd have to find someone who wants the squirrel, because I'm certainly not just going to waste a creature, even though those squirrels aren't endangered or anything else like that. I don't feel right harvesting a resource without using it. So I would have to find someone who's going to use it. I'm certainly not going to do anything with it. So, yeah. Anyway, he loves being out, and it's good for me. I already feel better. Like, I've been doing it for a couple of weeks. And I can tell, like, how much better I feel. Just even getting some, you know, just a bit of exercise every day. It feels great. Sometimes I'm annoyed by it when the time comes, but then every time I do it, man, I just feel better. Get them. Steal their ammo. Oh, we got hit by the brass orb over here. That's annoying. Oh, and they put it on the right unit, too. So AI didn't screw up for once. I'm actually going to move up closer because they're going to run away with all these units. So I'm just going to push up. let's go. Let's get some summons going. Put an extra miscast chance on Ikit. Send some help over here for the Minotaurs. Catch Ikit. Taurox needs to Sword of Cain, but I don't even know if I have a place to use it because we've already melted their army so fast. We've basically already melted the entire enemy army. There we go. I managed to get the Sword of Cain off. Pop all those abilities. Oh boy, yeah, you picked the wrong bull to mess with, Ikit. You picked the wrong bull. Yup, says squirrel's pretty good. Yeah, I've heard people say that they don't mind eating it. I'm not going to. Just, I don't know. I know they're not, like, literally vermin, but they come across to me very similar, and I understand that they can be eaten, and that people have done it for a long time. Just, I don't know. Yeah, not interested. Like, if I go shoot a duck, I can eat a duck. If I go shoot a dove, I will happily eat the dove. Quail, I'll eat the quail. Stuff like that. Pheasant, I would happily eat the pheasant. And then I don't feel bad because I'm using the animal. Same thing when I go catch a catfish. I don't feel bad eating the catfish because I'm going to eat it, I'm going to use it. But squirrel, I just don't have any interest in eating. And rabbits, I've eaten rabbit before. It was really quite decent. But it wasn't a wild rabbit, it was a raised rabbit where I'm less worried about all the diseases and stuff. And so I'd have to know a lot more about the rabbits to feel good about eating one from the wild, because I would be worried that I'm going to end up with some kind of wonderful disease. I'm probably being a little bit overly cautious, but yeah, I'm definitely not gonna go shoot an animal and just leave it there. Like, that's wasteful. That's just bad stewardship. So I don't have any problem hunting. In fact, I kind of enjoy certain types of hunting, but I also wouldn't do it just to be wasteful. Woo! There goes Ikit. Air save swirl. Waiting for the quest battle where Taurox fights for the cursed brass skin lotion. I love it, Colin. Oh man, that'd be good. It puts the lotion on the brass. Oh gosh. Fury of the Herd. Kazarak's infantry is better now. Let's see. Uncanny senses, spread corruption. Another ratting montage done? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I do want my dog to get the chance to hunt. I guess I kind of feel bad if he doesn't, because his parents were literally rabbit hunters. We bought him from a small town in Arkansas, and the people who were breeding him, you know, from dogs that they were actively hunting for rabbits, which is why he's so into it, right? It's in his breeding. Beagles, treeing coonhounds, you know, that's what they do. I want him to have the chance to hunt, and I enjoy hunting, but like I said, I'm kind of in that conundrum where I'm going to have to find... I mean, maybe I'll eat a squirrel to make him happy, but I can't say... Evan says go to Texas and hunt the boars. I would be totally fine hunting a boar and perfectly happy eating the wild boar. However, I would not take my dog on the boar hunt, because I've seen way too many dogs get absolutely maimed by wild pigs, and I would not want my dog maimed just so that I could go out for the pig hunt. Now, I understand some people use the pigs to hunt for dogs, or sorry, the dogs to hunt for pigs. if they're okay with that, that's fine. It's their thing. But I don't feel right risking my dog to get shredded by a pig just so that I can shoot. I mean, it seems like you could totally get the pig without that happening. But I know a lot of people hunt that way. I met a guy in Hawaii. You know, he didn't do rifle hunting for the wild boar. There were some feral pigs there, and they're a nuisance too because they weren't native. And he went hunting them, and his dogs would catch and hold the pig, and then he would come kill it with a knife. And obviously, he's lost a couple of dogs sometimes from where they just get absolutely shredded by the boar, and I don't think I could handle that. Like, you know, I wouldn't want to raise the dog and put all the work into the dog just to take it into an obscenely dangerous situation like that. Again, not bashing them. If people choose to do it, it's their business. But not for me. But I've seen the boar hunts that you can do, and you don't have to have a dog for it. The ones that I've seen, I think they set up in a field, and basically you wait until a certain time when they come rolling through, and then you can shoot them that way. And then I know there's other places where they're such a nuisance that they actually literally like just put you up on top of some ATV and they just drive out and shoot them, because the hunting laws are totally different, I guess, against these nuisance species. I mean, normally shooting from a moving vehicle is like a guaranteed way to lose your hunting license and end up in jail, and for good reason. But apparently these different methods for taking the wild boar are very loose in some places because they are so bad and they're destroying so much farmland and ranch land that, you know, they just want these things gone, and they don't really care by what means you get rid of them because they're invasive. So yeah, I think that'd be neat. I do want to do a boar hunt, and like I said, that'd be cool too, because then I get a whole bunch of pork, and I'd be very happy to eat up and use all of the pork. And so then it's a win-win, right? You got a nuisance animal that people need gone, and you get a lot of food to eat. So I mean, that to me would be a win-win. You're actually kind of doing a service to the local environment and getting a bunch of food out of it. All right. So let's keep things going here. And another turn. Ruined Atlas says you get taken up in the air and you shoot at them while they have no cover. Good grief. Helicopter hunting. Woo. That's got to be hard to take a shot from a flying, moving platform, wouldn't it? Yeah, that has got to be very difficult to make a shot from a flying, mobile platform. I'm pretty sure I could shoot a boar anywhere from 100 yards and in with iron sights, no problem. I haven't practiced much with the scope, but assuming the scope was, you know, in line, I could probably hit something from further. I just haven't practiced. But I mean, good grief, from a helicopter, that would be interesting. Yeah, that would be interesting. I would hope if you were hunting with a rifle from a helicopter, you would have to be very cognizant of keeping your shot aimed down at the ground, because a rifle bullet obviously can go ballistic. So like if you put it up at like a 20-30 degree angle, maybe because the helicopter's moving, you didn't expect it, and you fire a bullet, that thing could travel a couple of miles and be on a ballistic trajectory and kill someone. Not likely, right? But it can happen. And so shooting a rifle from a moving thing is always just kind of weird to me, because it feels like it's flying in the face of every safety rule. I'm sure there's ways you can do it and maintain a degree of safety, but it feels so weird, the idea that you even could do that in any given situation. Because like I said, normally it's like the last thing I want to do is fire a rifle with any degree of uncertainty about where that bullet's going to stop. It's kind of like if I went deer hunting, for instance, which I haven't, but if I were going to, And let's say I set up a tree stand somewhere, I would make sure, obviously, the direction that I'm facing and where I need to shoot, I would know what's behind there. So, you know, how I have to be angled, and then making sure that there's plenty of backstop and stuff to stop a bullet. Nothing that would go on to harm someone else. So, that would be, but it'd be neat. Like, you could do it legally and safe, which I'm assuming they do, since they do it. It would be very interesting to see what it'd be like to try and shoot from a mobile platform. That would be a challenge in and of itself. There's no bullet drop when shooting down. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you got right up over the top of them and you're shooting straight down, then you don't have to worry about the bullet, you know, going anywhere you don't want it to. Which I'm assuming that would probably be the practice they want to do. I don't think the Beastmen would appreciate our boar hunting, though. They need those things to grow up and mutate into razor gores. So I don't think the Beastmen would much appreciate us clearing out any feral hogs. We gotta perform the ritual here too.
Your supremacy is now
Alright, so we can fight the battle, the Fall of Man, and I want to say we also can fight the battle for the rune-tortured axes, which, I mean, do I really need to do that? Because I have the Sword of Cain, so no, we really don't. Alright, so let's get in here. Blood Greed. Claim for Taurox. I want to fight the battle for the Fall of Man, but I've got to get out of the forest to do it. Let's see. Mina, thanks for subscribing. Appreciate it. The boars are their wives? Maybe. I don't know, man. I'm not going to tell the Beastmen how they have to do things. Wow. Another Brittonian Assault here. This one from Lewin, and it says we're going to lose. They have a ton of archers. I don't think we're going to lose, because I have a ton of chariots, so rest in pieces, your archers. But, you know, Lewin's pretty tough, so maybe that's what they're banking on here. I don't really know. Let's find out. If we're going to beat Lewin, though, we'll probably need Kazrak and a Giant to help, and the Gorbel. The Gorbel and the Giant would do well against Lewin. Obviously got a lot of archers we're going to have to focus down. They attacked me, and we have the choke point, though I don't have the range. But what we can do is deploy all of our forces right here in the woods and be hidden. And the Giant, we can kind of just leave back here. He'll be visible regardless. Hide my chariots right there. So now, basically, Brittonia's going to have to cross over to try and take a shot at the Giant. I'm going to put him a little farther back. Start the battle, fast forward. And then once those archers get right here in this choke point, we're just going to pounce on them. We're going to pounce. Something tells me the Beastmen are not the bastion of monogamy. No. No. Kind of the same way that we don't expect Dark Elves to live that way, or any other Slaneshi type followers. Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I would be pretty safe in wagering that monogamy not really a thing for the Beastmen. Yeah. Get in that choke point. File in there. That's right, you little suckers. I want all the archers to kind of commit to that choke point, and I think that's probably good enough. All right, rush them. Give it to them. Give them the business. Oh yeah, you're mine now, suckers. Look at them running back. They're like, no, 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 no. This is not what we ordered. They're like, you got the wrong order. Okay, here comes Lewin. He is going after Kazrax. Let me slow it down for just a second. I need to get my order in here for Orbull. I need your help against Lewin. Kazrak. I'm going to go ahead and engage the healing potion there. I'm going to take away the ammo from all these archers because I got those suckers right where I want them. And then I'm going to debuff Lewin and all these other units with the Curse of Andraer here. I'm going to flip the Power Stone. And let's see. I'm actually going to ignore those units coming from that direction. I'm just going to plow everything through over here. Then we'll turn to focus. Okay, let's go. Wow, Lewin is tanking in here. Probably got a lot of ward save. A lot of the enemy lords do at this point in the campaign. Let's turn the giant around to help put some extra heat down on these lords. Alright, Lewin is trying to save this archer blob. We gotta be careful and get unblobbed a little here though. Let's go ahead and get out of here. Just get on top of Lewin. Took away a ton of ammo from all those archers. Let's get out. Oh my gosh, that could be a comet. Go, 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 go. Ooh, just a lightning bolt, thank goodness. I was really worried that was a comet of Kazandora. That would have been major bad and probably one of the best spell castings I would have ever seen from the AI had they put a comet down on me right there. That would have been an impressive use of spell casting by the AI. I'm gonna just like focus everything on Lewin for a minute and see if we can take some chunks out of him. In the meantime, I'll continue to do some damage. Not mean to get separated over here. Oh yeah, we definitely took a chunk out of Lewin. He's filling that. Well, I say that. Oh gosh, another lightning bolt. Run, 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 run. Run, spread out. Woo! That's gonna hurt. Well, that's good. AI should punish me for blobbing, and they kind of are. We took away so much ammo from the archers that I don't really feel like they can save the battle at this point. Lewin switched targets. I'm going to take my chariots now that we got some open ground. I'm going to split my chariots out and go after their archers. Where's all my chariots at? Oh, they're stuck over here. That is not where I want you stuck right now. Okay, boy, Lewin is just really being a tough nugget to crack here. I'm not entirely surprised. I expected Lewin would have significant ward saves and healing and all kinds of stuff. Let's just keep moving with the chariots. Most of the stuff in Kazrak's army is kind of expendable, like even if we totally lose a unit. I mean, the AI is really done for here. I don't know why the power bar is holding on longer for them. I mean, they should definitely be on the chain route. There's no realistic chance of them turning this battle around at all. Especially with Lewin now down at like 0 hit points. Left the unit over here. Kill him. Oh my gosh. He's gonna go cycle charging again. What a joke. Well, he's gonna get away with some more healing then. I'm gonna come over here. Kind of leave these archers all tattered and beaten, and come over and get some of these other ones. All right, Lewin came back down. Everybody, nope, he's back in the air again. He can't make up his mind. Give that man a beating. Someone make me proud and make him dead. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I don't know why that chain route didn't come a little sooner. I feel like it should have, but, you know, whatever. Whatever. It still worked out. Well, you know what, folks? I think I'm going to save the Battle for the Fall of Man for a video, because it's about time for me to hop off of here, and I want to make sure we give that proper coverage. So maybe in the next video we can do the Battle for the Fall of Man, and then if we can make a Herdstone in Naggarond and Altdorf, that'll be it, actually. We'll have a campaign victory. So that's all we're really lacking, I think, for the ultimate campaign victory at this point. But thank you all for joining tonight. Thanks for talking some Warhammer 3 talk with me earlier, and being the always awesome crew that you are. Oh, wow. These people just have not learned the lesson about the Kingsglaive. They just don't get it. So we're going to be defending against Torgavan. We'll, again, do this on the next episode, and then we'll fight the Battle for the Fall of Man. I will see you all soon with some more action in the Taurox campaign. I'm guessing that'll probably be Thursday, maybe. And it depends on how things shake out. Tomorrow's going to be Seleucid campaign video releasing, and maybe Troy, too, because I didn't get the Troy stuff out today. So I will get to working on that tomorrow. Like I said, hope you all enjoyed it. I'll see you soon with some more content.